I always think about Robert Bullard at the beginning of the environmental justice
Yeah,
movement
right, right,
into um, uh, the percentage of landfills that were sited in areas that were
right, right,
largely Black and largely poor.
right.
And yeah, and how that kind of galvanized him to begin a movement and yeah, it's really we do need resistance, and we do need people doing that research of and connecting the dots of like the environmental racism does exist and it's
Right,
insidious
right,
and
right, right. I mean, I do believe in protest. I wrote an editorial for the
yeah,
magazine called "Why Protests Matter," and they do matter, and they do change things. It takes some time,
yep,
but they do change things.
yeah, absolutely,
I mean, you look at the civil rights movement as an example of, and as you two know in my class, it really. I'm not saying things are perfect. I'm not saying that there's not racism in the country because there certainly is. But man, is it different than it was 60 years ago. And that's a result of movement. That's a result of people even risking their lives, going on freedom rides, going on demonstrations, being hosed by fire cannons. I mean,
yeah,
that was not an easy job. And this is not going to be an easy job in front of us either.
absolutely, yeah. In one of our readings, there was this really stark statistic that has stuck with me that I think it was in 2012, 40% of the environmental activists that were killed were indigenous.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's scary at first that environmental activists are being killed, and then second that you know, a large percentage of that of those people are indigenous, which are that's the group that's most affected,
right, right, right.
arguably. In
One of
many,
the things that demonstrations do is they give you heart. I mean, they make you realize that you're not alone in this.
yeah,
There are a lot of other people. I mean, when I participated in the March on Washington in 1963. I mean, there were 250,000 people there. I mean, that
wow,
was impressive.
that's really cool. That's awesome.
That was great.
Yeah.